to know that our schools come out that up to 60 or 70% of their workforce are NYSC teachers who have no training whatsoever. And we have not even thought as a nation to review the NYSC, to inculcate pedagogy, training skills, communication skills, psychological issues, because there's psychology in learning.
Did you eventually enjoy teaching?
I didn't have a choice. I told you, in the Quran, I'm not a religious person per se, but I read in the Quran that we have written it and the ink is dry. And they will tell you, it's debatable. I don't want to be seen as people quote wrong place. But the so some schools of thought will tell you, I need to believe what So I've missed my lines.
No, answer on enjoy.
Yeah, so because I knew there was no way out, and it was a boring land. Zaria, one of my friends, good guy, Kamal Olosho, came to visit me twice. The girl I was dating there came twice. Then later, me, I would create fun. Yeah, I would not allow anything to limit me. So, but by class, I was doing extra classes, but I would not explore our carrot plantation. My boys, we call carrots one my fruits, and we made sure we enjoyed it. I met people that by the Lautech. I'm on Tombola Friday nights. By the time we even go to Tombola in Jaji, at the time we go to Tombola in Kaduna, just to enjoy ourselves. We had no choice. We were making
insecurity was terrible.
Yes, it was starting then. He works in Lagos now. I was going to meet him he was teaching in Kunamina College Zaria. So I'm okay, my pass anyway, because anytime in the middle you have to take a pass to go out officially. So Lafia, peace, no peace, So we turned around. Then they told us to stay more within the barracks. But then it was just fun.
But I want to know your opinion about NYSC. Do you think NYSC should be scrapped?
And so, a few days ago, I saw that comment on a platform. I'm afraid to comment on platforms these days because most times people have illusion of knowledge. What they don't know, they think they know it. And they think what they know is all that there is. So, most times, we can only reason at a level to disagree intellectually. So, for me, NYSC should not be scrapped, but it should be reviewed in such a way. In fact, I wrote it on that platform in such a way that let everybody serve where they are conversant with. I don't know the one story of a core member. If I want not to say Genesa, return kidnap. In fact, the story yet is our parents, I want to go for they pay 10 million, one release it. Then they ask for motorcycles, one to release 1 million as to meta. What people go to. The other day, some of a particular university in Ondo State were going to maybe Zamfara. 16 of them, all of them perished. They died.
That happens every year.
So when you look at all those things, a system that works will have reviewed all of that. That, okay, we have the good, we have the bad. How can we reduce the bad of this? So for me, if you are from Oyo State, unfortunately, they will say, if you are from Oyo State, you cannot serve in Oyo State. I actually think that you'll do more good to the community. Your community in Oyo. So if you say to scrap totally, a lot of people lose their jobs, a lot of dislocation will happen, and that's not how to solve problems. By trying to eradicate, by trying to wish they don't exist. By working around them, improve the processes, improve the systems to ensure that.
But has anything been done aside maybe adding some little allowances to core members' salary at the end of the month?
Anything
since 1973.
Not anything structural. No, because you deep or structural in the way. Maybe
so if you're looking at people losing their jobs, then that means we are not even ready for that conversation because some people are actually
Benny, if you look at the NYSC, the NYSC was created to engender national unity.
That's right after the war.
Yes. But if you look at it critically, there's a camp here, you realize that there's no unity in the camp.
At all.
The Yorubas will come together, the Igbos will come together, everybody is family. Except a few of us that, like I had a guy there, Abubakar Sabu, Allah Udus, it was more than 40 universities. So it was more of family, don't it? So integration has not been happening. Although it may sign on instance, ó lọ serve ní Kano, ó dúró mbẹ̀, ó marry. It's not.
But how making a percentage àwọn sí percentage àwọn tó ń lose lives wọn sí ojú ọ̀nà, then sí percentage àwọn tó bandits wọn. I think my own experience. I served in Yobe State. On my way, near Bauchi, we were attacked by armed robbers. So, but those are experiences that I don't even always talk about.
So, I think for me, the NYSC should be reviewed to align with the realities of today. And the reality of today is the state of security or insecurity, as you may like it, in Nigeria.
Or what if it's done per catchment area, like somebody in
zone,
zone
southwest,
in southwest. So you want to go school, or you have to jump, or you go to either Ogun State, Lagos, or even Ondo.
It's a good one. It's a good one, but you ask people to go like that. Yobe, I don't know. Probably was like a 26, 27 hours journey. Am I right?
2 days,
2 days.
Because
I know my friends that went to Yobe also spent one night. Then they continued the following day. I think it's too much for this time.
Anyway, that's just a digression, sir. Continue. After service,
so after service, I tried to walk around. I worked for a man, I've forgotten his name now. He was in Lagos, Uncle Meko. Alhaji Biodo Kesojo. He's a logistics company.
All right.
So he employed me as an admin officer.
As an admin officer, that was the first job you
First job.
So now, mathematics should apply, see, as in the practicality of that mathematics should apply.
And so one of the things that I refused to accept as an undergraduate then was that when we were in class, it will make you have a robust mind. Robust mind. Let me one computer, one electrical. Robust mind in mathematics class. Robust mind. Think out of the box. Make analytical. The Baba was always coming to class. It was more like mentoring us. But me, I just closed my mind to it. Baba, you can't start degree, you know. So, but when I got there, then my experience as a student activist had exposed me to what an average person may not be exposed to. I had written letters, money file, I had communicated with the school, reaching the school, face panel, done a lot of things, addressed press conference, you know. So I would not see myself as a typical mathematics student.
Okay.
But then, it's still robust. So many of the things I was asked to do is initiate memo, write minutes of meeting, you know. They were not strange to me then. And I believe it was because of my background as a mathematics student. You know, and then by pure and applied. If you look at these very deep courses, the pure is separate, then the applied mathematics, that's where it's all electromagnetism, fluid dynamics, you know, then the computer aspect, modeling, and a lot of things.
That same course, Baba,
yes.
Adeboye.
Best. Ní Unilag.
Baba Kunwi nko àwọn ṣe mathematician.
I'm not sure.
But atushi ni àwọn èèyàn kan tó pé
that did mathematics.
That did mathematics.
So it prepared me for anything in life. So even when the job of the head of human resource of Fresh FM came up,
that was after the Lagos job.
A long time, long period. If I tell you what happened in Lagos, I spent 3 weeks. And I spent 3 weeks because when I got to the job, it was not what I wanted to do with my life. In fact, my uncle was angry with me because he got me the job. He said the man gave him a slot. I said, I'll sit from morning till night. Logistics, no, we're not doing anything. The man said, but I get salary now. So when I just went to the bank, I owe you for 2 weeks. Said, are you going anywhere? I said, no. Then at that time, he's a member of the House of Assembly in Ogun State now. Nikeja. So but I calculated it. Owó tí mò ń gbà láti Ìkẹjà lọ sí wharf every day kò ka owó mọ́tò. So mo wá kí n tó gbalé mú kọ gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́yọ̀ kan. I just returned to Ibadan. Okay. And I felt that, okay, if I can get something in Ibadan, only me in Ibadan. By this time, the man was angry. I hope I will remember his name later. It was Honorable Mutuagiri Konse. You know, but my uncle was angry. Akeem. If my uncle was doing Akeem, that why lodge on ọlọ́pàá? Mo tún dúró báyìí. Only like ọlọ́pàá ni pé àwọn ní ọ̀rẹ́ kan DIG training pé you join the next set of kìnìkan. Boy mo, àwọn kan wà sọ pé it's not good to look like we are undignifying other people's profession. But I just kept quiet. Although me no, but then I didn't stay long. Then I came to Ibadan and then started applying here and there, then later. But the reality is that my work experience has been a checkered experience, if I can use that word.
Okay.
Cycles. Terrible cycles. 3 years, then something will happen, then I will start all over. The longest place I've worked, and I've written in my book, Odyssey of Purpose, is Fresh FM.
Now, how did you get that Fresh FM job?
Pekolo Ede Flexi.
Okay.
So we were in the uni together. I was ahead of him in the uni. Then even when he was in Splash, when he was the GM in Splash, I was heading along the line. I got another logistics job in Ibadan that was into transportation. You know that I believe mathematics, just be relevant to eke out a decent living, you know. So we're meeting as professionals. And then, he left Splash, he returned to Lagos, then he went to Glam FM. Then he came one day, just called me. Look, what are you doing in the next 3 months? You know, there are some people that will ask you some questions, deep questions, that your response to them, I just come up with, what are you doing? What are you planning for the next 6 months? So when I answered, look, a year ago, what was the same answer you gave me?
Can you response?
I told him, mo fẹ́ gba owó ní bank, mo fẹ́ ṣe agric, mo fẹ́ ṣe fish farm, mo fẹ́ ṣe kinní kan. So it means that in 1 year you have been stagnant. I said, not necessarily. I said, okay, can I go near UJ, press center in the evening? It was Ramadan, like we are in Ramadan now. And I got there, as MD of a new radio station, he was going to set it up, that mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe head of human resources and admin. I said, nǹkan tí ó pọ̀ tí wọ́n máa ń sọ jàre. Ó ní kí ni? You have worked in admin in Lagos, you have worked admin here, you have worked admin here. That you can do it. That you go and get about it. Then I went to somewhere. Okay, me come and look at HR. So the said now big books me. A week or two I read, you know. So I went for the interview. My first encounter with Dr. Nkaifele. And it was supposed to be a 10-15 minutes chat, but it ended up like 45 minutes. Because he was asking me what I was bringing to the table. I told him what I knew about HR and admin.
Which you never done before.
We had never done before. And I told him, I said, what is the deal with HR? I said, HR is just to align the personnel. Use the personnel to achieve the management objectives.
Sorry, I want to ask a question.
Please do.
Meeting Dr. Nkaifele.
Yes.
He's a musician. He's a radio station owner. Maybe an instrumentalist. But he is the chairman of his own radio station.
Yes.
That was the first at the time.
First time.
Now, meeting him, interviewing you, she won't come across as ẹni tó báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ gbé kíní kalẹ̀. Did they come across as ẹni tó yẹ pé even nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ wá ṣe àwọn gan ti mọ̀?
Of course.
Àbí àwọn tó yẹ pé nǹkan tó yẹ pé ẹwẹ́ ní tẹ́bájà ti gbà síbẹ̀ lẹ́gbà?
Of course. In my memoirs, the title Odyssey of Purpose, I wrote about him. And if there's anybody that strives to attain perfection, more that I've met is him. Even in his music, if you have been where he's recording, he will take 1, take 2, take 20 times.
You've been there?
Yes, I go there to see. So when he was interviewing me, what I was expecting was that, okay, he was just going to ask me the normal questions. Okay. But for me, I tried to over-prepare for any scenario.
Okay.
So I was fully prepared. So all the questions he asked me that was going to unsettle me, my background, how exactly am I going to add value, how exactly am I going to justify, being the management staff at that level. And don't forget, he had worked in radio stations decades before. He knew the setup, and he had an idea of what he wanted. So apparently, he was just looking to see if I was fitting into what his own vision, what he had envisioned. So the interview, I know Bekun was there, but Taku was not meant to talk.
So he was the only one that was.
He personally interviewed me, and he said, "Okay, you have the job. Start on Monday." I was like, "Start on Monday, just like that." It's not even the end of the month. So start on Monday, and that's how we started. So yes, later I realized that he's a person that is cut out for everything he wants to do perfect. He wants it done perfectly. Even everything from the radio, he listens to most of the programs. Then when we had Fresh FM Ibadan only, then when there were more stations, Abeokuta, Oshogbo, Akure, and all, he listens to most programs, and he will call you, Akeem, got to say bye. And he will not try to, how will I put it, influence you as an analyst. As an analyst, I have point of views that I disagrees with, right? But you will not say shift to mine. You know. So that is the type of person he is. That he was then to me. The boss that I worked together. You know, there were layers. When Flexi was around, Flexi was the MD. When Flexi left, Alaji Abolade Salam became the acting GM, right? And so we had to go to Alaji. But later I realized that he was giving me the work to do directly, and I was working with him directly and it was all smooth. Okay. Although, just like life, there can't be movement without friction. Yeah. There were frictions, but then.
All right. Talking about your stay in Fresh FM, you were the human resource manager.
Yes, head of human resource.
Head of
for
human resource
more than 5 years, and later group head of human resource when we had other stations. Yeah.
So how did you become an analyst on radio?
Okay. And so when Flexi got me that job, Flexi said, Akeem, I don't know. Flexi had that knack for identifying talent with due respect to his person, because he had done it virtually everywhere. You just pick someone and say you can do this, and he equip you, train you, mentor you. So he said, Akeem, you'll be the analyst on this radio program. Like I wrote my book. I said, you want me to fail? How? Well, that's what we do every day. When we sit down, we hang out, and you discuss politics, radio station in a microphone, what that cannot cancel the words. It's fleeting. The radio is fleeting. If you are writing, edit or whatever, but here it's not possible. Like I said, guy, you have to do it, because as the head of human resource, you not make maximum impact in that station if it's not into the core of the business. Yes. Because he had the experience, he had been in Splash FM, he had been in Radio Lagos, he had been in OGBC, he had been, like, at that point, he had more than 15 years or close to 20 years experience. At the time I was coming in 2015. So, Tokwe Edward was the anchor. I was the first analyst on the show. I was so skeptical about being able to perform that I told Tokwe, don't call me Akeem Kareem. Tokwe told me, you are Akeem Kareem. No, call me Sukomi. So if I fail, it's Sukomi that has failed. But I don't like Tokwe. This Sukomi name is sticking. So the first day I was there, second day, third day, the fourth day I ran away from the show. I Flexi, he just issued a query. I said, query. He said, you have to do this. And Flexi had it mapped out that after a year as an analyst, he wanted me to have a program on radio. Okay. By that time, in fact, before he left, because he left within 1 year, due to some reason between him and Oga Ifele. Okay. By the time he left, I followed it up, because I just realized, Otoma and Flexi and so. This thing is just. But then, in the early days, I wake up at 2 a.m. to read everything in the news. Look at the laws that back it up, because
just to get yourself prepared.
Cannot
sure or so.
Because I was also dealing with an anchor. He talked about Edward, who is a lawyer, who has a very sound mind. That even if you know what you are saying, you talk about who are well grounded. You are not on safe ground. So I put in my best as an analyst. Then I started Perspectives. First time we started was live. I had Tade Padiola, a poet, for my first experience. Then later, I don't know, a guy said, come and record. I said, I'm not doing badly on air live. He said, no, what's to record? So we started recording. It was 30 minutes then. Later, we invited to live, 45 minutes, and it was nice. A lot of people come in, captains of industry, and I always put in my best. Because for me, for that 45 minutes on air on radio, the minimum number of hours I will prepare is 3 hours.
For a 45 minutes show?
Minimum time. So when employers say, should be 45 minutes show, I just laugh.
So you have more than enough materials to...
Because I have to even know more than you. It's your field. But my position, because when I guess me, I expect to have a question. We go for 5 minutes. In 45 minutes, you can answer 10 questions. Why there below? Others for 45 seconds. Could anyone go to answer one? So you have to start dribbling and putting the question and answer side by side so I can pick from. So I did that for long period of time. But I enjoyed this as an analyst. Later, we was fresh in Abeokuta. So myself and Gola Kebelu were analyzing Abeokuta. Wale Bakare, Promise Son, then Lulu. It was Fresh FM at that time was an assemblage of stars. They really got everybody together. And Ibadan. It was, we were working from Ibadan to Abeokuta. But when I did perspective at Abeokuta, I was going to Abeokuta. Because I felt that maybe this is a homecoming for me. I went there later. There was Federal Oshogbo. I was also going to Oshogbo, And that's why Oshogbo more.
Okay. All right. So overall, what's your working experience with Dr. Yinka Efele? Overall,
mixed feelings.
Mixed
feelings. Mixed feelings of unmet expectations, unmet promises, but also that he gave me a platform. Ọgbọ́n mi kan wà engineer Abe, a ní wàá lo mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe tó máa gbéṣẹ́ yẹn fún ẹ ńkọ́. Wàá lo mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe tó máa gbéṣẹ́ yẹn fún ẹ ńkọ́. Then I saw the passion that he was putting into everything he was doing. I saw when he speaks to you, you key into his vision, you key into his dreams, but they are his dreams, not my dreams. They are his dreams. I'm earning a salary to help him achieve his dreams. So like I said to my people, like I said to Pekun, Pekun, we're in our 40s. We went to our 40s, Pekun was 50 years ago. Where's our empire? Are we going to come and earn a salary for the rest of our lives? Pekun, tall dream. We have to have our empire. We have to build our dreams. If you don't build your dream, you are going to continue all your life to build people's dreams. And eventually you become unfulfilled. So mixed feelings. He gave his best, subject to limitations. But then to me, he was a good person. There were instances where you say, Akeem, why does Mashi here? Then I realized that he loved sycophants. He wanted to hear his voice. When they ask you a question, he wanted to hear himself speaking. So he had people that will go to meet him. Oluwami. I'm not cut out for that.
You never do that. You never did that.
The only time I knelt before him was the day I had to leave. I've forgotten the exact date now, 2022. I know people who go to him at every instance, Oluwami, you came here, go. And when they step 2 steps forward, they start cursing him.
The man go by.
Live. He likes it.
Really?
Yes, he likes the people who pretend to him.
Some of them won't pretend.
He won't, because he enjoys it. Because if the person comes to you and says the right things to you.
So what's the essence of somebody coming to cringe before me and the next 2 steps?
No, he may not hear. It's not that he won't hear, But he likes people that will come and say, but me, I will come and tell him, my own duty as head of human resource is to see where things are going to fail and make sure they don't fail. Is to align the strategy of the management, use the resources available, maintain discipline. HR in this century is not personal management alone. It's process, it's policy, it's a workflow, a lot of things embedded in it. But then as head of human resources, I realized that, like he always says to me, Akeem, if you're a secretariat now, whatever you want has to pass through me. I even discussed that with somebody this morning. Why do private radio stations, where it's one-man business, one-man decision making, no management? When you hear management in one-man radio station, zero, no management. It's just the whims and caprices of one man. Yeah. Compared to private government radio stations, TV stations.
But I want need downsides too, no?
They do, but they are not as popular. They are not as fulfilled as because in the government radio stations, broadcast stations, it's just government. So our will prefer the one-man business that is semi-independent and that is a voice for the people.
Semi-independent.
Independence is relative.
Because the government to Bawanta. So somehow semi-independent. So
I use that word intentionally. Semi-independent.
All right. So okay, why see there was a time there was an exodus of people from Fresh FM. You were there, you were the HR. Does that mean that you didn't do your job well and when you come to station you select on the law? We had about 7 people leave at the same time.
No, I left before them.
Oh, really?
I left before them.
I failed that question. I wanted to trap you, but
I left before them. But then in life, the only thing that is constant is change. You are thinking some people want to leave because of money, some people want to leave because they are not fulfilled, some people feel that there are other things that they should be doing. Some people are just managing. They feel even when we started in 2015, There's some people, I don't want to mention their names because, I don't want to. They didn't stay. 2 or 3 of them. Me, Federal Common. They are in this battle, practicing in radio till date. And they're not doing badly. In fact, in that regard, they are doing well. They didn't stay. For whatever reason. They were there with them when the radio was online.
Okay.
But then, in this industry, it's just like football. Everybody goes for the best. These 2 players too, I mean, fellow playing La Liga now, But then for me, I believe the platform is very important. And people who left because they had reason. For me, I left because I thought I was going to attain part of an empire.
Like you become a shareholder?
That was the illusion I had.
Did you discuss that with him?
Not with him.
Okay.
It wasn't with him. So before I came to radio with IFL in 2015, myself and Pekun had sat down that, Pekun, in this Ibadan, we can own our station. If your dreams don't make you look like they are crazy dreams, you have not started dreaming. If your vision is just, you want to do the regular, what everybody is doing, no. You have to be daring. After you have to leave your comfort zone. Totally. A ship will never discover new, what do they call those things? New oceans if it doesn't leave the same zone.
We were talking about Professor Gideoye just now.
Yeah.
Professor Gideoye was a lecturer at the OAU. And he had this vision of having a university. So Lara and what one colleagues in the OAU.
Probably work for him now.
Possible. Look at what City University has done too.
Maybe a few weeks ago, I think they are 20th or 20-something anniversary. So people have to dream. And when you have your dream, the dream you have may not will work out in the circumstances. So, like I said, I went to meet him when I had to leave. I paid the month's salary in lieu of notice because I'm a process person.
So why didn't you just wait for that month to?
Because I knew it won't make me leave. It won't allow me to leave.
But
I was head of HR.
You were having your
and I had seen other people who wanted to leave, who were not allowed to leave.
Okay.
Directly or indirectly, one way or the other. It should get better.
Once we talk, man.
Yes, because
once we talk.
No, I'd work with the boss when you work with the boss, you know he's thinking. So even when I left, and where I went to, I met a dead end. I knew that. Wow.
But where you went to, I want only on you out of Fresh FM.
Story for another day.
No, let's tell the story today. Only on you.
Oh, you think everything is Naira and Kobo?
It's not about Naira and Kobo, but at least if you want to build something, you'll be collecting my berry now.
No, at times there are some dreams that it's not about money. In actual fact, yes, maybe the salary was going to be double, but that was not the catch.
Let me borrow a slang. Journalist call. I put it to you.
Okay.
That Vintage FM lured you from.
Wow, you know what Vintage FM?
Yes, now. So
I could not have been lured with money.
Okay.
I was at the top of my career in Fresh FM. What took me from Fresh FM was more than money. Because it was money, when I was leaving, Dr. Ifele said to me, and is alive to corroborate or deny this, that I will double my salary. I was living from the known to the unknown. I was living certainty for certainty. I won't do that because of money. Okay, if I could not tell him I was going to a radio station, he said to me, Akeem, deliberately, because I knew I was going to do that for the first and the last time. And then Akeem did a joke. I said, I had to leave. I have to move on. Move on where? What's happening? Travel. Akeem like travel. Travel. No. Tell me, what are the issues? Akeem, okay. You want me to change the official car? In my mind, I thought of it. So, this man feels I deserve a better official car.
But the official car? So, that's joy.
Yes.
You waited till I
want Yorùbá sọ pé èso inú ẹ̀kú. Àwọn mọ́ra ni. Àwọn Ìbàdàn tó mọ Yorùbá tí ìmọ̀ ọkú tó pa bàbá ẹ̀. Kò kí tí ò bá tí ilé kú dà kò mé èkú tó pa bàbá ẹ̀. When I took the job, Oga said, Akeem, in 6 months, there'll be a pool car available for your department. In 60 months, there was no car, no pool car. Otherwise, being given car. Even when I knew I was adding value more than them. At the point I was, I've been talking Pekun Lomumiwani, and Pekun had left. And when Pekun left, he left with majority of all his people. Okay. That they came together. You know, they left. So I thought, am I not welcome? So he said, I'll change your car. I laughed. I said, okay, your salary. I was perpetually broke. Not his fault. There's a scale for the work I do. It's paying me commensurate with the salary structure. But it was not in conformity with my own financial needs. So most times I was either on a loan or a kinecon. You double my salary. I said, no. I be health insurance. I said, health insurance, wow. Something you did not do for us in the last 84 months. No health insurance, even when we had the chance to do a barter with the All-State Insurance Agency. Hey, for health insurance now. And when I read the company secretariat. So, the discussion I had that day, even though they were baits, I knew they were baits. Even though they were baits, could have made me say I was going because of the money. But I was going because somebody said to me, Akeem will set this station, they will spend XY amount of money to set it up. If you and Pekun, that we're going together, could make the money, the principal, in 2 years, then we are going to give you a certain percentage of shares. Then the work started, we were putting on our best, and all of a sudden...
That was the discussion you had?
That was the agreement we had.
Verbal or written?
Beautiful question. It was not documented. And that is what Ibrahim Lawal, the present ABA chairman, said to me, Akeem, you are the most stupid human being I've seen in my life. So you are so unintelligent. You have an agreement with somebody, you made it verbal, and you have many lawyers as your friends. Even you have a very legal mind, fertile mind. And it was an agreement on honor. I said, where is honor if it's not documented? And the lady came out and said, we are our employees. I said, employees? So even when they said, we're going to have no state, when they started, it was like, CSC document, and Pekun warned me. I had issues with Pekun. Pekun had been my close friend, close ally for years. Pekun warned me, said, oh, let them document this thing. Pekun, this is where I spent money. Let's wait for them. They can't renege on their words. So before I even think of leaving, Pekun left earlier. I couldn't stay. If you are now treating us as employees, this is all we agreed on. Long story that I don't want to go to the full details. At times these are things that have made me cry as a man. With all sense of modesty, I've been in situations of life and death. Me, Sukun. As a student activist, I was in Yagogu for 7 weeks. Here. As a student activist, one more Aloja from student union. It was all in the audit of purpose. Student union Ilorin, Okekura, maximum prison. 8 weeks. Me, Omi, Jamaloju me. But that's what shook me most. Was that, she got on pele yoni. I when I last spoke to her, Akeem, cause ìwé àsòwò òsì kúrò lọ́wọ́ fẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí sùn wá. Bí wà tí wọ́n jọ lágbèmẹ̀tẹ̀ wà kọ sílẹ̀. Ìwọ tó wà university tó máa ń kọ nǹkan sílẹ̀, tẹ̀ máa ń sign, ìwọ HR tó máa ń document everything. Ìwé tí mo máa ń kọ communicate meeting, tí mo ń kọ communicate announce meeting, mi ìwà kọ communicate. Ẹni wọn ni, wọ́n rí ẹ̀ ti dàrú, àwọn òjò sọ nǹkan tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ngbàtẹ́ padà lọ bá wọn pé nǹkan bàbá ìlàjọ sọ kí ni response wọn.
Wọ́n ní kò ṣẹlẹ̀ pé àsọ. So I walked away because nígbà tó fẹ́ fún mi ní contract yẹn, I had been privileged to see the contract. Is this the contract you are giving me? Even this contract, I could not issue it for a staff as a freshman person because there's a template, HR tone. Tí lawyer bá ṣe agreement contract iṣẹ́, where does the HR? The HR will protect even the personnel. The lawyer is just saying the client tó gbówó fún.
Ló máa protect.
Ó máa bó ṣe máa dẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ ní sínú ìgbèkùn ni. I said no, this is not for me. And so when I could not cope again, I walked away. I walked away, and I promised. And since 2023, I've not spoken to this in any medium. A lot of innuendos in the social media. Ebu, kò sí ebu tó wà bú mi. Last university mo ti ní thick skin. I fear my creator. I fear the day I put me at alone, and I fear my conscience. And I don't break any known law. Once I satisfy my creator, my conscience don't break any law, I can damn any consequence. So I walked away. It was not an easy thing to do. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan go láọ̀ládà yàrá bí ọjọ́ kan pè mí. Wọ́n ní bàbá ẹ máa ń sunkún. Mo ní sunkún kẹ̀, but I was actually crying. It was humiliating.
It was
humiliating. Especially for the person who was coming from.
Hey, expect it.
Someone that I've used all my lifelines for. In the past. And at the critical moments. Just turns me off like a piece of shit, a piece of rag.
It is well. And only into a maga, so I think it's part of.
Yes.
I
moved on.
Yeah.
I moved on.
So the vintage job came after you left.
It was an ugly experience.
The vintage itself.
Yes, I left to go to vintage. I left for FM to go to vintage.
That's why I saw it as an opportunity.
Yes, I was telling you, I left certainty for certainty. My dear, in this Ibadan, Femi Babala Jogo is my good egbon who talked to me, advised me, said, Akeem, you are making the biggest mistake. I wish you had spoken to me. He called me, Akeem, I wish you had spoken to me. Oh, how would you have done that? I wish you had spoken to me. It wasn't the money.
What's the problem with vintage?
Ownership.
Okay.
The people felt we're after their dukia. That was the word we're using. And there's something called illusion of knowledge. What you don't know, you don't know. Oh, more. A few days ago, I had an issue with the car. Then I called the mechanic. Only, please do a bonnet here, a shibi, a petrol DSC, a depada. Start. That car had done it for close to 5 minutes. Restart. Because the guy had knowledge. You know where to touch. But you don't have a certificate online. I said I started at highest level in Fresh FM with Pekolo Ede, Flexi, not anybody. With Ayefele, with Alaja Balade Salami, with Bayo Faleke, we talk about Edward, best of the brains. On our morning show, Tabawa morning show, Tabawa meeting, you marvel.
Fresh FM rose from 1 to...
You know, intellectualism. Then Oga had the celebrity status to show it up.
Yeah.
I left all of that to come here and you mess me up. You ask me to go on leave. You ask me to go on suspension. Yet I'll still be somewhere working. And you could not do anything. And I left. Well, they had another person work on the station. If they don't go anywhere, maybe you can. And when the person said, ṣé kò tí máa wá sọ ṣé wọ́n wá rú ni? Ẹ̀rù tó wá wọ̀ mí lọ́rùn tí mo sọ ṣé wọ́n wá rú ni? No.
So some people came before you, maybe 1 or 2 people.
No, this was how it started. And where the problem was supposed to start was when we started, Flex was supposed to be MD. And we had agreed. When we were setting up the entire studio, everything, this is MD's office, I was supposed to be the general manager. This was my office. Then the financier said, later, oh, but Flex is MD more. Money, kilo de money, me o MD o. Èmi ò ń dálẹ̀ o. Èmi ò ń kúmọ̀lẹ̀ àlùmá kọ sílẹ̀ o. Kọ́ bá ti jọ sọ lèmi máa ṣe o. So Flexi was so they now said they don't want Flexi as MD again, that they were not toying with my position. That was why I started, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? How can we agree on something? Mo nǹkan tá agree sí ibi ẹ̀gán lẹ́sìn dàrú pé COO that the lady will be the MD. Say MD how? What do you know about this thing? You don't have the basic knowledge. But she training online, you know, and that was how it started. Such that if we that were in the management, when you give the instruction to staff, the MD will come from our shop and give her the contrary instruction. And the workplace became toxic. And when Akeem ti jíwó wa, Akeem ní ibi tí bá ti wú onírọ̀ wa, ẹ pè wá, ẹ sọ síta. You know, it was so toxic. I mean, as strong as I want to be, as strong as I believe I am, I get emotional because I'm human. This same person, I needed my help many times in the past. Akeem, you are using your life for this person. Are you aware? Yes, sir. Show my life to love me. At least my name is Colony, and we have used it for her. Not once, not twice, not thrice. And that person just let me do like that. So the day I left was because I just felt my personal affairs were in the office. I never knew because they were saying I want to staff audit that is either they downgrade me or she can say okay, just don't humiliate me. And you knew I have an issue that I could not return to Fresh FM. Even when Jogo called me, Akeem, Otibuju, you know, Jogo was bothered. Why can you be staying at home? Because you know the radio work is always light at the top, heavy at the bottom. You know, so there are no many opportunities for me to get into management easily. You know, no, it won't work that way, sir. Only more time but you know they can't go to best or one person I think my teacher won't take me back because I know him, because I've worked with him for 7.5 years and I know his mentality. I know how his mindset works, and I'm sure he won't want me back. Except he wants me back to humiliate me and then send me away. No, that's not the kind. Okay, but he didn't work with him for 7.5 years. So Jogo called people. They went to meet him. The other Jogo called me. I said, I told you not to try it. Then I had another offer to be GM in Oyo Town. I said, well, I will leave my to go and work as GM in Oyo Town. No. Then at that time, I wanted to meet you, lawyer, role model, Pajuan, Wise Man, all of them. Now left. Pajuan is going to be GM where I work now. You know, I reached out to them and they said, I want to recruit Tom. Because management position.
And you had no job at that time. You were out of.
I was at home. And although at that time I could have chosen the one at Oyo.
Okay.
I don't want to mention brands.
That's Dynasty.
I could have chosen. In fact, the MD was my friend in Lautech. I forgot his name. I forget things easily. I don't know why.
So at 50.
No, I am actually 50 years young, okay. Not 50 years old. So they called me. They said they had only the position of a freelance analyst. But I mean, you know what it means? From the head of human resource in Fresh FM to the GM of a station to home, and now freelance analyst. Last man at the door. But you know,
in any
success.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt I would not take the job. But I said to myself, I can't, like Baba Bola said, I can't turn stone into bread. And I took the job because I was sure I was going to bring value to the job. And I always said to people, anywhere I am, I work on making my presence so valuable that when I leave, you may not value my presence, but when I leave, you feel my absence. You feel my absence. And so I've been doing it then. Later, I started the platform program, which I've been doing on a weekly basis. Then I tried to do a few other media consultancy here and there, you know. When you have a family, your child is in the university, there's no money they want to pay you as an analyst that will suffice. But then the platform is important. And then that you wake up, you are going to work is also very fundamental. So it's been serious learning.
So at the moment you are a freelance analyst with Success.
Success always says I'm their staff. But I remember when we had the agreement initially, which I asked them to document, I applied as freelance analyst. But when they issued the letter, they said OAP/analyst. So I work with Success now.
And you can't do more than one stations.
They even put it there, exclusivity. There's an exclusivity clause. You know, that thing is not good for radio. They say you should be unique to a particular place.
Not being found.
But you know what they call freelance these days? People buying time here, buying time here. And in the process, even them will lose their niche. Even them will lose their brand. Even them, you know, but then it's a massive audience. There are so many radio stations. And there's also a dearth of lack of qualified personnel. There are a lot of enthusiasts, but not majority of the personnel are not qualified. I'm sure you listen to radio, and every time you'll be like, what is this person saying? How can you start from ẹ̀yin ara lórí ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí pé wọlé o ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí pé wọlé o ìṣọ́kọ lówó ẹ̀kọ́ kọ́ lówó tàbí àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ kọ́ lówó no content no intellectualism no depth but it's just what it is.
I think orin yín tó yẹ kí lára àwọn orin tó yẹ kẹ́ fẹ́ràn jù sí or maybe a song that I would recommend is Commander Ebenezer Obey's song.
Okay.
I love Ebenezer Obey.
Beautiful.
Oh, easy. Láti jọ ọmọkùnrin. Àfi k'Olúwa kó ayọ̀. That song is deep.
Very deep.
Oh, easy. N tó lè mú yín máa yọ mi lójú.
I didn't want to get to that stage, but interviewers.
Èmi ti sọ yín mo rí pé omi yẹn ti lé.
Interviewers, you got me.
Yeah, I got you.
And that was what made my friend leave that day. My friend go down, who alakobo lọ́jọ́ yẹn, wọ́n á sọ lórí phone. And ẹ máa ń sunkún, mo ní mi ì sunkún. Bàbá yẹn sunkún. He drove from Akobo to my house in Owode. Where I pack bag, just leave this house. Let's go and hang out. 3 days. Oh yeah, what ọmọ ńkọ́? No, let's just leave first. Because a lot of time people go through a lot of issues, but there's this presumption that Akobo now is supposed to be strong, but you never know when it's vulnerable.
So Baba, ṣé n sọ nǹkan fún yín? Ọlọ́run ti equip yín. You have what it takes to become whatever. You can be president of this country. You are highly cerebral, you are intelligent, you are brilliant.
Thank you.
It's just for your time to come. It's just for the right person to support you. Mi ṣeré o, because ṣe mọ̀ pa dára wa mọ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ̀yin gan fúnra yín. Okay, ẹ ní ọ̀rẹ́ kan tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé mo mọ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n náà jẹ́ sí mi, but he is so humble. Dr. Kọ́lá Fárinlóye.
Wow, yeah. He's in the UK now.
He's in the UK.
He's in the UK.
There was a day I told Dr. Fárinlóye, I just ṣiṣẹ́ ní late city.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, mo rántí he was in late city.
Mo sọ fún Dr. Fárinlóye, àwọn náà wọ́n possible kan wo show yìí. Mo ní pé doctor, mo ní now that you have acquired your PhD, mo ní you can be whatever you want to become. Mo ní reason ni pé tẹ́nibọ̀dì bá fẹ́ gbà yín sí ẹni iṣẹ́, you are already a PhD holder, kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi já yín.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Mo ní then I see you beyond just
where you have
taking salary from Late City University. Money you can become president lè pe nǹkan wá ṣiṣẹ́ if anybody don't nǹkan wá ṣe anything. Àwọn wá ń wò mí pé kí ni mò ń sọ.
Kí ni máa ń sọ yìí?
But today wọn kì í ṣe illegal immigrants ní UK o. He's a research
and he's doing academics, full academics. And if the Oyinbo can accept you at that level, then it means because àwọn òkè ń compromise standard.
Wọ́n lọ pẹ̀lú ìyàwó pẹ̀lú ọmọ kì í ṣe pé wọ́n bẹ̀bẹ̀ àbí kíní kan. So I see another Fárinlóye in you. You have the academic qualification. You are brilliant. You have been wired from the start. It's just for you. Tí máa fẹ́ lo the religious language. Kí time yẹn tó. Or kí the right person. Kó kàn wá. Let's understand. But some of the things that will make you get where you're going to, or to make you what you have dreamt of becoming. Òun ni àwọn kan tó ń gbomi lójú yín yẹn. Wọ́n ṣe bad sí yín. It's just to prepare you for that future, and I'm sure that future is very close by.
Thank you.
I don't know where I can song got most on the camera, but it's just from the depth of
your heart.
So let's talk about your book launch.
Yes, so a year ago, 2 days on my bed after my birthday, I think March 19, I had Dr. Professor Adedayo. And now, in my interviewing over the years, at times, mo prefer in 1 year, can be a particular guest 6 times, 7 times. One of the people to go most Reverend Dr. Kehinde Alabi, Molly Baptist Church. Yes. I'll bring him on Easter, I'll bring him on Christmas. Then Dr. Professor Adedayo. Then Professor Adeoluwa Akonde. Because when you speak with them, when you listen to them, cerebral.
Highly
cerebral.
Yes.
So that day I just told them, I'm going to 50 next year. You know, he's a very humble person. I've told him, go and write. I said, write? I don't know what to write. Your last 11 years in the media, your background as a student activist, your background as a mathematics student. So let's see next week and talk about it. And that's how it started. He did the initial chapterization for me. And so for like 8 months, every day, Monday to Thursday, Human Lobby Share, we have an office in Dubai where we use for other activities, some of my friends. Between 8 and 12 noon, every day, I'll be behind the phone. Typing, thinking, conceptualizing.
Writing your memoir.
Writing. Remembering, you know. And I kept doing that. People say, he knows big people that will give him money, that if he doesn't do a book launch, they won't give him money. But like I said, if you don't have dreams, why are you alive?
Yeah.
If you don't have something that keeps you awake in the night, why are you alive? If it's just run of the mill, just existential for the moment. Anybody who doesn't have dreams that keeps them awake, impossible dreams. In 1 year, I never thought I could get that book ready. But for me, there's the way I do my things. I see the end, like, is it epilogue or prologue? I'm not a good person. Where like a prologue in Paris, where I be? Yes. I write the prologue first. I will have seen the end from the start, and I will walk towards and get to it. It was tough. And many times I felt, this book can't get ready. I'm going to low AI. Does I know all of my history? She I remember to be able to meta. She I remember see Akeem on shop with NYSC road. She I remember bata gbe apata Lautech. You know this him. They have to put together, draw lessons, they how to, So we did that. Then along the line, I had to go and meet professors again. Then I had to get editors to edit the edited, So we are going to launch on 3rd of April. It's a Friday, Good Friday. Dr. Professor also will be the book reviewer because he's instrumental to this. I'm sure without him, without that discussion that day, I had thought of writing. I knew I could write. In the secondary school, I was in the press club. In Lautech, I was in the press club. And in Lautech, I wrote. If I move to the commercial writer, because my politics, unionism around Lano, I write, So, but I never thought that I could put my thoughts down in a book form. So he guided me, and what we are doing on Monday, we call it Odyssey of Purpose, because I realized that every journey has a purpose. But what, as individuals, we are able to decipher is what is that purpose. That is the moment you know your purpose. If I come into this studio and I know my purpose there, it's easy for me to do.
Yeah.
But if I come to this studio, I don't know my purpose, I will just be rambling around. And so that book is about identifying your purpose.
Which I'm sure is going to help a lot of other people.
If people are willing to read.
This discussion alone, for me, insights oriented, so at least it may going to pick personal lessons.
So it's an Odyssey of Purpose, the journey of purpose. So it's for people to determine what is the purpose of life, what is the purpose of marriage. So what do you want to marriage? And they have different purposes. They be at crossroad. So only achieve purpose here, but the united purpose. So that book is about the Odyssey of Purpose. We use Jogo, Felicia Hall, do the launch, then a brief get together. I'm not a man of immense financial resources, but I'm a man that has men and women who are always ready to come to my aid, particularly to get my dreams done. Most time people have dreams and they don't have a circle that can actualize that dream for them. At times some people can actualize dream, they don't have dreams. So I've seen that in life. Life is actually a paradox. When I was much younger, I read a lot of books about supernatural, mysticism, yoga, a lot of books. I read so many books at the point I could women. Go and read Nelson and Packer, go and read physics, math, chemistry. What's all this? He sees all the books. But I always add some I kept elsewhere. But he encouraged me to read.
He said read anything. But at the point, he packed them off.
Because he felt I was not finished in academics. So it's about my purpose. My purpose in the university, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. That was my purpose. But I came out with a 10th class in mathematics. I was an accidental. Even in journalism, it was accidental. I never wanted it. I never thought of it. My wish was mobile maths. I can go working on the apothecary only. I be HR, admin that I done for so much, or logistics, But then, what's important in life is you must always find a way to determine your purpose and seek that purpose.
All right, I'm sure that you won't mind some little help from here and there, from some people.
Apparently.
So what I want you to do now, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ pe phone number yín.
Okay.
On this show.
Okay.
I'm sure there are some people that really like you. You are likable. they'll reach out to you, they'll call you. And
but you look as if I'm soliciting.
No, you're not soliciting, but if it comes, share anybody.
You know, there's this. Everybody likes money, and everybody can always make do with more money.
Oh, difficult for me. That's a point. Yeah, for me.
But I think, but I think yes. But I think there's an ethical issue about soliciting. I even find my colleagues, you guys are soliciting.
Okay, you know what? Nick pay account number. Just call your phone number.
Okay, my number is 070-609-15613. 070
yes
609 15613.
All right, but I personally want to urge you, my viewers and Agbaletu fans, that for what he has done, he has challenged me. Maybe not him postpone,
no, please start immediately.
I feel it's not time was it though. Maybe I still need to gather some things because I believe that my best is yet to come. Now, I don't
know if I can read this comment out for you.
Right.
Somebody sent this comment to me. I hope I will not take time reading it out. He's a colleague, and he said to me this morning, platform, he said that if at age 50 you can write about yourself, it means that there's still much more. Oh wow, it's not
if at age 50
you feel
I'm not 50 yet.
You know, whatever your age, that you have enough to write about.
Yeah, of course.
It's about documenting.
I know I have enough to write about, but I feel that whatever I want to write about shouldn't be about me alone. It's about I wish it to be more about what I have done in entertainment and this guy. You can
serialize it. It could be a series.
Yes, I know, but and I can say that
but then for me, I think that if you really want it, what I know about the human mind is that you have trained your mind to achieve anything you want to achieve.
Chapter 1 abandon it. You know, this is not how my chapter 1 should look like. But I know that there are editors that will help me out.
Of course.
Even Tim Afejo, I know that there are people I can narrate my story to.
And they can write.
So I know the way to get it done. So, but
you are waiting for the right time.
Maybe the right time, but maybe the right time is now because Dr. First I know to buy him so many times. So, but King Padasuri,
he's a big mentor.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what he did for me and Flex one time. So when we were trying to get a radio license, you know what radio license is in this Nigeria?
Legal.
So he said, Mr. Femi Adesina, I think he can. And he picked his phone. And the man didn't pick. Said he was going to call him back. And you know that I know Flexi and his friend had spent at that time more than $20,000 trying to get that license. And within 15 days, Dr. Festus made one call to somebody who called another person, and they got that license out. That they had been on for years.
Influential.
Extremely influential. And what wows me most about him is modesty. I wish I could be that modest and humble too.
Yeah, very humble. I just want to be, and his interview has been one that one man refers to.
Of course,
always. All right, so let's assume that some cerebral people have enjoyed your interview. You are not here to solicit for fund. You are not needing support, whatever. Just in case, show opinion phone number take.
Hey, this man is a tricky interviewer. Yeah, it's an OP account.
But a regular bank account, no?
Yeah, I do.
Bank or no?
First bank.
Okay. Because I hope you come out opportunity man work, but we should be prepared for it. Come out the corner but if they say 1 million,
the bank
1 million da pada. Ọjọ́ yẹn ló mọ̀ o. Ọjọ́ kejì yẹn tó fẹ́ sẹ́ni létí gbàgbé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
ẹ pè first bank yẹn just in case.
31-444-20484 Kareem Akeem Ọlánrewájú.
Tẹ́nibọ̀dì bá sọ pé solicit for ẹnikẹ́ni ẹ wá bá mi máa sọ pé no pé èmi fúnra mi ni mo sọ pé mi ìnáwó tí mo lè fún yín, but I know I have good people on this channel, on this platform. Tó ń máa support irú nǹkan báyìí. The artist wa táwọn èèyàn dey support wọn, but now you are not an artist ẹ̀ kì í ṣe actor, but what you are doing needs support, need people to encourage you. Irú yín ló yẹ kí àwọn èèyàn ní káwọn ọmọ wọn máa gbọ́ to make choice of careers. And that is what I want to do. It shouldn't be about Fuji music alone for Agbaletu. It shouldn't be about Ogunde alone. It should be about what
mentoring.
But a lot of people are not seeing that. But our theory is because that is where we are heading. So I want to thank you, Mr.
And so, if you also need me for, because now you have, you said we have met. I remember when we met, it was a circumstance that was not pleasant. I remember now.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it now. It was not too pleasant.
Yeah.
Now, openly, I'm apologizing for whatever has happened then.
Yeah,
I will mind you after.
Okay.
But then if there's anything you also need me to do for you, I'm always a call away.
No problem, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So thank you.